Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I'm finally down in my radio room. Converted garage, laundry room, storage room, whatever. I've been kind of under the weather, had some health problems, so I haven't been down here any length of time, meaning more than a couple minutes, all this year. So I'm finally down here. The shortwave band conditions are good today, and it's about 5:15 in the morning here in Clearwater, Florida. I've got the latest version of SDR Uno 1.421710. They also have come up with a new version of the SDR Connect, but to my knowledge, SDR Connect still doesn't have a scan function. Now, if I'm wrong about that, please correct me, because I'd like to convert over to the SDR Connect, if possible. I'm using my RSP DX radio with my Mega Loop antenna. It's only up about 12 feet in the air. That seems to be fine enough for a loop antenna. And I've been receiving some good strong signals. This database that I'm using right here is the latest EIBI database that my good friend John has filtered for me, because that database, which is huge, has a lot of entries on the same frequency of various stations. For instance, I'll just take a number, like you can see right here, 5 megahertz. It's got a whole bunch of entries in the database for 5 megahertz. Now, this database over here that Cloud Markers is using is the entire database. So it's got all the duplicates. But what John has done for me is he's taken the EIB database, which is basically the same as this other one, and he's filtered out all those duplicates. So the reason I've asked him to do that is, if I've got all these entries, it takes forever to scan because it will stop on each one of these. So he's taken just the first one on a given frequency, kept that, and got rid of the rest of them. Now, excuse me, by using Cloud Markers, I can still see the other ones that are on a given frequency. So I'm not missing anything, so to speak. So that's what I'm using. I manually did, because I'm not very good at Excel anymore, I manually went through what he gave me and took out all the entries that said spy numbers, like Russian spy number, Polish spy number, station, so it doesn't scan those. I also took out channel markers. Again, I'm not interested in listening to beep, 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 beep from a channel marker. So I took those out. So that helped reduce the database and therefore speed up the scan. But like I say, the whole database is over here in Cloud Markers. So if I stop on one of those frequencies or near one of those frequencies that I took out of the database I'm using to do the scan, it'll show up here. So let me do a little bit of scanning for you, or let it do a little bit of scanning for us, and we can see how this works. Here we go. Here's WWV showing several entries with different names. And if it finds a good one, I'll stop it and I'll show you what it's showing. There's some data. That's the U.S. Navy data. There's fax. I didn't take the fax ones out. Now I don't know why. The thing about this is if it gets a little burst, it will stop the scan even though you don't see anything on the screen. So it was there instantaneously, it caught it, it stopped the scan and stays there. I got it set up for 5 seconds. There's more data. Getting a lot of data. I tried to set up the plug-in that will decode the fax, and I couldn't get it to work. I'd forgotten how to do that. So I couldn't get it to, I got a good signal. Okay, there's one. Okay, this is, what is this? This is probably RMI 5850. Yeah, this is probably RMI. Probably coming from Miami. That's nice and strong and close to me. We'll unmute it.
Now, a lot of you won't suffer the flames, even in this little temple realm we're in there. You listen, I want to hold on to my life, and you engage in tremendous struggle, like a caged animal trying to protect your flesh.
Now, like I said, the people at SDR Play have upgraded their other program, which they're moving to that, which is SDR Connect. And I think in general, I haven't really done a one-to-one comparison. I think the reception is better with that radio. But as of yet, to my knowledge, they still don't have a scan function. They now have added a database function, but I didn't see any way to do a scan on that database when I watched their latest video. So hopefully, and I keep asking for it and asking for it, but they still haven't added it to my knowledge. Now, I say correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'd love to start using that version instead of SDR Uno, because this is the one thing I like to do, is I like to scan. And that's what we're doing right now, and we'll continue the scan. Now, I've told you in the past, there's a couple of things you have to remember when you're doing a scan. You don't want to, well, maybe you want to, you don't want to stop, because when you stop and you start, it starts all over. What you want to do is a pause, and then when you start, it starts where it left off. So you can see the noise level is down considerably. Way down here, like minus 90 and greater, or lower, less.
And it's actually spewed in the air, that guy back there, and put that gas under the stand. He's just building. All right, that's the spirit. Now,
Now I think this cloud markers is not being updated anymore. And I wish they would, because when you get on a frequency that's got a lot of stations on that frequency, you can see it's not showing everything. You have to go scroll down. So if I do a pause here, then I can see you have to scroll down, because what it does, it shows frequencies around the frequency that the VFO, which it shows right here, is tuned to. So it shows below it and above it. So there could, like this frequency, 5.935, has a lot of stations around it. And I wish what they would do is, I wish they would get rid of this, not get rid of it, but take this off the screen, because you're normally not using it, and make this longer all the way down to the bottom. Because otherwise you have to scroll up and down. And you can't expand the size of this window. Because I said, okay, I'll just make this all the way up to the top, therefore it would show more of the stations. No, you can't expand it. So anyway, like I say, unfortunately I have not seen any updates to this, so I think the development is over. So what you see is what you get. Okay, let's do a little more scanning and then we'll call it quits. So let's go back to resume. I'll turn the volume up a little bit.
Because I think so much of what is presented to us in social media, right down to the shelves at the grocery store, the checkout stand.
We were getting a lot of strong signals. Matter of fact, I'm even getting an overload. So let's turn the RF gain down. If I can get rid of that overload. Now, what I've done here is you can go in here and click on these various entries and then it will show up over here. So I've marked a couple of them before. What I thought I was receiving is Radio France and Radio Habana, Cuba. So when it gets up here, you should see a marker over here. Let's just let it scan up there, which is about 6 point something. I could move the squelch up some because it's getting those little spikes and stopping on those. Come on. You know, some people are saying there's not much left on shortwave. When you look at this database, there's plenty left. Not as much as there used to be. There's still plenty out there. A lot of it's digital. I'm going to move that squelch up. I'm getting tired of waiting for it to... Okay, come on, get up to that big one. It's almost there.
Evolución científica que pueda apresurarlo. Lo mismo sucede con el desarrollo personal y social.
You think it's close.
La sociedad refleja siempre el desarrollo del individuo. Si este es como una fruta delicada y exótica que necesita su tiempo adecuado para desarrollarse y madurar.
Should be on it. Let me pause.
Y no hay revolución que pueda apresurar el proceso.
It does sound like Radio Habana. I don't see it in the database though.
A nosotros mismos y a las generaciones futuras de ahora en adelante, la histórica pregunta que la humanidad ha heredado de los más antiguos registros de la civilización.
603.
Hemos olvidado
that's probably Radio Martini.
Y el sufrimiento de nuestros padres.
Okay, let's go. I'm going to scan a little bit more.
Para la meditación con un servidor, Bruno Lucas.
Stop there. See, it says 035. Yeah, Radio Martini. Radio Martini. All right, that's enough. Let's mute here. So hopefully now that I'm feeling a little better, I'll be able to do this more often. And I also want to take some of the portable radios I've reviewed lately and bring them down here. Somewhat less of a RF noise environment, lower RF noise environment down here. Still quite a bit going on. And I also have a number of antennas coming into my shack here. Simple dipoles, long wires, and mega loop, which I can connect to those little shortwave antennas, shortwave radio antennas, and show you the improvement you can get just adding a simple long wire antenna. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. That tells me I'm making shows that you enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you haven't joined, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. And have a great day. Bye-bye.